your parents raised you and your brother Craig, not as children, but raised you guys as adults.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
This was my crying call to my brother this weekend. I was like, we were so lucky to have two parents, not college educated. These are working class folks, Val. Let me just say this. My parents didn't get to go to college, but common sense, right? And a lot of love. That's why I tell the story of my parents, not only because they are the core of who I am, but I want parents to know that you don't have to be educated or rich to have a deep, deep impact on a child. But my parents had a philosophy very early on that they were raising adults. So they weren't treating us like the kids we were. They were trying to educate us about the world. And they were open and honest with us. And they cared about our voice. We were the family where you'd sit around the dinner table and everyone was allowed to speak and to laugh and to joke and to tease. You had to do it respectfully, but I always felt like my parents really loved my voice. When you grow up in a household where your parents are sitting on the edge of their chair because they think you're so clever and so funny, you start believing it. It's like, well, let me tell you something.
Right.
Let me tell you something about myself. That has value. Listening to your children, not shushing them. We didn't come from the household of kids should be seen and not heard. And our parents told us the truth about life. So when things were off or something didn't seem right, they'd explain it. They wouldn't just say, that's none of your business. There was never, that's grown folks stuff.
Okay.
It was like, let me help you understand why. Let me allow you to ask the question. So I know how blessed we were, to have parents that even, and they weren't reading some parent manual. This was just sort of the way, this was their belief. This is what they thought, and now I know how lucky I was.
Right. Is that how you guys raised your girls too?
Oh, we
in
try
that same
to.
manner?
We definitely try. Conversation is important, and there is no question that's off limits. And I encourage my kids to talk to me about everything. And sometimes they think I want to talk too much.
Right.
And then there's like, okay, Mom, that's enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try as much as possible to live by the same principle. I did that when the kids were early on in their lives. It was like, I didn't allow them to whine about things. I would encourage them to stop and explain themselves and to talk through their emotions. But the one thing we try to do in our house is also create some boundaries and give our kids some responsibilities. So early in life, they were setting their own alarms. It's like you got to wake yourself up in the morning. You have to do chores. You have to, because, my thinking is that when you go to college, I'm not going to be here to wake you up. So you're 10. You need to start practicing this now. That was what my mother did. Hey,
I have not told them to set any alarms when they're 11 and 16.
Well, there's still time, but don't tell them it was my idea.
No, I'm telling them. They will listen to you probably quicker than I'm going to say, Mrs. Obama said you both need to be setting your alarms at night.
It's time.
It's time.
Where's the camera? It's time.
Zoe and Max, set your alarm.
Zoe and Max, come on, guys. Help your mother out. Get up. Just get up.
Yes, right. Oh, this is going to go a long way with me. There are so many tender moments in the book, and so much that we learn about your dad, Mr. Robinson. And of course, he passed away and did not get to see all that you have done with your life. If you could have one moment with him while First Lady, what moment would that be?
Gosh, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about, wow, my dad could see me here now. If he could be in the United Center, the inaugurations. I mean, we all think about Barack thought about his mom who wasn't there. His grandmother passed right before, so we had a lot of our elders who weren't there with us, and to have parades going by and be in the inaugural motorcade. I mean, it would have been just so brilliant to have my dad on that stage at the Capitol watching his family. So there, where do I begin? I miss him every day.